Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. My name is Kiris, and this week in astrology, we have Pluto stationing retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, the second quarter moon in Leo, and Mercury enters the sign of fixed Earth Taurus, ruled by Venus. Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, May 4th through Saturday, May 10th, 2025. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. Sunday, the Sun's Day, May 4th, we have the outer generational planet Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, fixed air Aquarius, stationing retrograde. Pluto will be retrograde in Aquarius until October of 2025. The Pluto retrograde in the sign of Aquarius is this process of saying goodbye, ending something, finalizing something once and for all for good. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, the phoenix rising from the ashes. Pluto in Aquarius is the freedom and independence of seeing and perceiving and thinking about things in a whole new, more positive way. It's a mindset, Aquarius being fixed air, which is when our attitude, when the way we think and perceive changes, everything changes when that lens of perception transforms. Aquarius is also the sign of the zodiac that is ruled by Saturn, along with Capricorn, that rules over time. Saturn is the lord of time. Now, different signs of the zodiac and different elements in astrology, they process an ending. They say goodbye and finalize something in their own style, their own cosmic energy in their lives. I want to start with the air signs, as Aquarius is fixed air. Now, if you are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and or have a lot of the element of air in your chart, air is the element that has to feel free. It has to keep it moving. That feeling of lightness and free thinking and being stimulated by always learning something new. This is the element of air in astrology. So as the air signs are in this Pluto retrograde cycle that we're having, an air sign can tend overall to let go of something, let go of the past quickly and move on. Because if air doesn't move, then the thinking and the movement gets very stale and heavy and boring to an air sign. Now, the challenge of air signs is that they can overthink. So in this process of saying goodbye with the Pluto retrograde cycle and determining what it is in your life that you finally have to finish and end, the challenge with the Pluto retrograde in Aquarius for the air signs and element is to overthink too much, to go around and get caught in the loop of the same thought and never finally put it to rest. So again, overall, air and the air signs, they need it light, they need to feel free thinking at the very least, and they can let go and say goodbye. But the challenge, if this relates to you, is to try not to overthink and obsess in your thoughts about finally ending saying goodbye to something. The earth element processes an ending very differently than the air signs. Now, the earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They are the element of earth, and if you have a lot of earth in your birth chart. Now, the element of earth in the earth signs, when they want something to change and to end, it's very important for an earth sign to know that they are reassured, that they are safe, that they are secure, and with the element of earth, that they are not going to lose their money and their stuff. The earth element is all about the security and reassurance that if they make a big change in their life, if they say a final goodbye, that they will be protected. When it comes to the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, well, they're just one step ahead of the game overall because fire is impatient. It moves very quickly. Fire is life. And so they are already looking forward to what is the next exciting thing when it comes to ending something and beginning something new. The challenge of the fire signs is that they can get impatient and they can jump to conclusions too quickly and end something before it is the right time and the right moment and thing to do so. But when it comes to change, fire is an element like air that tends to welcome it. They gotta keep it popping and moving. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And if you're a water sign or have a lot of water in your chart, to end something is not only a huge emotional process for water people, but water is the element that cares. They are empathic. They feel the pain and suffering of the world and others around them. It's very important for the water signs, the water element, to not feel like they are hurting anybody with an ending and a goodbye. So water can take more time ending a situation. Water also needs time to process their own inner emotions and feelings about it. The water signs and element of water is very kind and wants to be very kind and respectful when they say goodbye to something. The challenge of water, because water is devotion and it can be quite addictive as far as being attached to an emotion. So the challenge of water and the water signs is to not wallow or try to not wallow in a feeling for too long as they're in the process of saying goodbye and or getting an addiction as a replacement. Now, there are many forms of addiction. It's not always drugs and alcohol. We can get addicted to a feeling, a habit, whatever it may be. The water element with this Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is the element of needing time to process overall how they feel about it and how they are going to make the other person and situation feel. For instance, let's say a water sign has their child entering school or going off to college. There are other signs and elements of the zodiac that would be like, okay, see you later, have a good time. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the water sign is going to cry and it's a big deal and all the emotion and all of the tears because the child, they're going off to school or off to college. Something is ending. For a water person or a lot of water, having to let go is a major production with that situation and just all of the other events in life where we do have to cut the cord and say farewell, goodbye, good luck. So with this Pluto retrograde in Aquarius over about the next 6 months, this is a lot of time to determine, doesn't have to happen overnight, it's a process to determine where and how in your life something just once and for all, it is time to let that end so that the phoenix rising from the ashes, Pluto in Aquarius, which is freedom and light, can begin over the next 6 months because Pluto is an outer generational planet, meaning how that planet moves through one division or sign of the zodiac. We will watch on the world stage how the different generations say goodbye to certain things. And we will also experience this in our private personal lives and on the stage of the world. Also on Sunday, May 4th, we have the second quarter moon in the sign of fixed fire Leo. As the moon moves and journeys from second quarter to full moon, with this second quarter moon at 14 degrees Leo, this is the desire, the needing, because it's the moon, to show off a bit, to strut your stuff, to let your light shine. Leo is originality, and everyone has their own personal talent, gift, their own unique light to shine. So with the moon growing in light and power as we are moving to the full moon in Scorpio coming up, indulge in your creativity and again how you want to show your gifts and talents. Now Leo is ruled by the heart. This comes from a place of love, because when someone shines their light and shares their gifts, it inspires us. Think of someone in your life. It could have been in your personal life, or think of a star, a celebrity, maybe a musician, where from the love in their heart, this is Leo, they showed it off. They let us share in their gift and in the light that they had to shine. You have that cosmic superpower, and we can never know, you can never know who it inspires, why it changes their life. Just know that when you have the courage, the heart, this is also Leo, to shine your light and strut your stuff, so to speak. We need that. We want that light. We bask in that warmth of love, the love that's coming from your heart, because you're willing and generous enough to share the gift that is your heart and your talent. So the second quarter moon in Leo, moving towards the full moon in Scorpio, is making the decision that you're going to share your light, your talent with us. Thank you for shining your light in this world. And again, how can we possibly know? How can someone know how they perhaps have changed your life, inspired your life? But we need that light. So you have that. You are born with that. It's very creative, the moon in Leo. So whatever your love is, when it comes to your creativity, the heart has to be in it. That's the important part about the moon in Leo, which rules over the heart. If you feel like, well, I don't know what that is, I have a talent, what is that? Just go to what it is that you love. Where is your heart? Let your heart be your guide. That will guide you to your gift, your originality, and your own light that shines. And you do it because you love it. Most people don't stick with something and practice over and over and over again because they don't love it. They do it because they want to. That's where their heart is. So find that and do that with the second quarter moon in heart-centered Leo. Monday, the moon's day, May 5th, happy Cinco de Mayo, we still have the moon in fixed fire Leo, making a square aspect of action to the planet Uranus in fixed earth Taurus. Leo and Taurus are not only fixed signs of the zodiac, they are feral. So we're dealing with a square here between fixed, feral, wild signs of the zodiac. Now with the moon squaring this Uranus in Taurus, the moon in Leo wants the drama. Taurus wants the peace. The moon in Leo is saying, sorry, but I've got to stir the pot here a little bit because things have just remained the same for just too long. So the square aspect between the moon and Uranus, this can be where you feel a little bit unsettled, maybe a little bit of anxiety, because we're talking about the moon here, where we hold that energy of courage and fear. So the square prompts us to take action in astrology, and you may find yourself very pleasantly surprised by what you're willing to change and give up in the name of knowing, feeling it in your own intuition and cosmic power, that yes, things will start to be different as we move towards the full moon in Scorpio. Also on Monday, the moon moves into the cool, dry earth sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury. The moon in Virgo makes inconjunct aspects to Neptune and Venus in Aries. Now the moon in Virgo is very precise and practical about getting the financing, what it takes financially to get a new and exciting project up and running in your life. Aries is all about the future, and let's get to it as fast as we can. This is fire. So this blending of earth and fire between the moon in Virgo, Neptune and Venus in Aries, this alchemical process of finding the investors, getting the money behind a project so that it can turn into a moon in Virgo reality, not just up in the imagination state, which is wonderful, but sooner or later there is action to be taken to make it real and bring it down to the physical. This is what the moon is doing later on this Monday, the moon's day, May 5th. Tuesday, Mars's day, May 6th, we still have the moon in Virgo, and this is sublime harmony because the moon in Earth Virgo makes an Earth trine flow to the sun in fixed Earth Taurus. The two luminaries, the sun and the moon, making a supportive, harmonious Earth trine flow. This is when the inner and the outer, your mind and your heart, the masculine and the feminine, when they are lined up as a very clear channel, no blocks, no obstructions, no hesitations. This is the focus, the very grounded, practical, common sense, earth sense of manifesting into your life what it is that you want to make real. We love the moon trine the sun in Earth. It's the patience, it's the willingness to do the work, the love of the work, and bringing it into a reality, Earth element. This is the cosmos highlighting for you. This is the real thing. It's going to and will happen. Wednesday, Mercury's day, May 7th, be ready to roll with the changes, and there will be changes and adjustments. We've got a T-square on Wednesday between the moon in Virgo making a square to Jupiter and Gemini, its detriment, and also the moon in Virgo making an opposition to Saturn in mutable water Pisces. This T-square aspect today is not only expect the unexpected, and you could be pleasantly surprised. It's not expect the unexpected in a negative way. It just means that things will be presented, things will be shifting and changing, where adjustments need to be made, making set plans and not being willing to be redirected in a place that is more positive and better for you is just not going to happen on this T-square Wednesday. You are being directed with the changes that can be unexpected to stop and go in a different direction, or at the very least, consider it. There are different seasons and cycles in astrology where, yes, it stay the course no matter what. But there are also natural seasons and cycles in life and in astrology where we have to go with the changes and just trust and know you're being redirected for a very higher and more positive purpose. This is one of those days. Keep in mind, it's all connected because the day before we had that sublime moon trine the sun and earth, clear manifestation. The next day, on Mercury's day, things are shifting and changing with this T-square because you're manifesting, you're being redirected so that that clear channel can be more open and allowing the manifestation to come through. Thursday, Jupiter's day, May 8th, we now have the moon entering cardinal air Libra ruled by Venus. Now, the moon in Libra is making a very supportive air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius, now retrograde. The air trine flow support energy from Pluto retrograde is showing that something has to end at this time. Libra can be too concerned about pleasing others. Libra can be indecisive, to say the least. Also, Libra as an air sign can go around the same thing over and over again, and then some more before Libra makes the final decision. The support from Pluto is saying once and for all, make a decision and end this relationship. And not necessarily romantic. Any relationship in your life that has become poison, toxic, it's time for it to end. The moon in Libra makes an opposition aspect to Neptune in Aries and also its ruler, Venus in Aries. One of the most important things that the cosmic energy is highlighting with these aspects today is rushing into a relationship and giving too much too soon before you know the person, like the person, This opposition concerning the moon with Neptune in Aries is saying that the fantasy, the dream, is over. The moon making an opposition to its ruler, Venus in Aries, can be abusive. Venus in Aries is in her exile. It's very combative, very impatient. Libra, again, has a tendency, is inclined to hang in there too long because of indecision before the final no takes place. This cosmic energy continues on into Friday, Venus's day, with the moon still in Libra, making an inconjunct aspect to the sun in fixed earth Taurus. Both of these signs are ruled by Venus, the goddess of love, harmony, and partnership. Libra is still in that back and forth, indecisive place. Fixed earth Taurus puts its foot down and says no to the indecisiveness of the moon in Libra. Fixed earth Taurus is patient, as solid as a rock. They are there for you no matter what. But when a Taurus finally gets pushed to the point of no return, and it takes a lot for a fixed sign, fixed Taurus, to do this, then the moon needs to have this connection with Taurus on Friday, because the moon in Libra, again, is still inclined, as a way of saying goodbye, to overthink it. And the sun in fixed earth Taurus is saying, this is enough is enough. The moon in Libra then makes an air trine flow to Jupiter in its detriment in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Libra, the moon in Libra and air signs, they want to communicate everything and go around and talk and discuss everything. Sometimes in life, it is wiser to just keep things close to the vest and not discuss it openly yet. Jupiter is the planet of wisdom that comes through experience, but Jupiter in Gemini is its detrimental placement. It is not wise to go around telling the world about a personal relationship decision quite yet. Keep it close to the vest. Saturday, Saturn's day, May 10th, we have this sublime entry of Mercury, the planet of communication, entering the sign of fixed earth Taurus, ruled by Venus. I'm in heaven already, because Mercury is communication, but it's also sound vibration. And the sign of Taurus, some of the best singers that have ever walked on this earth have Mercury in Taurus. It's just smooth. Think Barry White. Taurus is very sensory aware when it comes to not only all of the sensations, especially sound vibration. Taurus is connected to music. Taurus has that way of speaking and sounding very calmly. A calm voice can diffuse a very volatile situation. When we listen to the natural sounds of nature, which Taurus rules over, you're just listening to the ocean or to the birds singing in the morning. This Taurus, which wants peace, sound contributes so much to how we feel and our health just by what we're hearing. So this Mercury entering the sign of Taurus is the cosmic energy, the power you hear to make it a point to listen to things that make you feel great, that give you peace. This is Taurus. That center you, that calm you down, as opposed to listening to the noises and sounds of clashing and traffic, whatever it may be, that upsets you, jolts you, throws you off balance. This is being highlighted for us at this time, the Mercury entering the sign of Taurus, so that we can be more aware of what we are taking in, the voices in your own head and what you say to yourself, but also the outside voices and sounds and how that affects your peace and well-being. Taurus rules over the throat in astrology. It has to do with what we take in and begin to process. So when it comes to this Mercury in Taurus, what you listen to or don't listen to is of utmost importance. That's being highlighted for us with this beautiful aspect along with the Sun in Taurus. We all know what the great one once said, who was a Taurus: if music be the food of love, play on. Thank you everyone for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. Have a fabulous week. I will see you all in the stars.